Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be looking at what spiritual gifts are getting ready to come online for you or are getting ready to undergo an upgrade, an enhancement. So there are 3 groups to choose from. For group 1 is this key along with these oracle cards. Group 2 is this key along with these oracle cards, and this key for group 3 along with these oracle cards. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, really open yourself up to the guidance that wants to come through today for you from Spirit, Source, your angels, your spirit guides, passed on loved ones, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you are most drawn to, and I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. Hi, group 1. You chose this key, so I'm going to put that right here, and we'll start off with these oracle cards to get an idea about what spiritual gifts are getting ready to activate in you or are going to be undergoing an upgrade. So we have personal power, paradigm shift, sword of light, divine protection, cords cut, breakthrough energy, come to the edge, and vacuum away fear. Call upon archangels Michael and Raphael to lift fear-based energy from you, your surroundings, this situation, and everyone involved. So I'm feeling that you are getting ready to experience an upgrade or a greater awareness of your ability to transcend difficulties that you've experienced in the past, that you're currently experiencing. You're going to be getting some enhanced abilities to shift your timelines, to shift your circumstances, some kind of upgrade or an activation of your ability to manifest. So with that is going to become, it's going to become very important that you be mindful of your thoughts, that you focus on positive thinking, on the outcomes that you want to see manifest in your reality, because you're going to be manifesting very quickly. You're going to be able to close the door and create some healing and some resolution for yourself in terms of maybe some loose ends or some things from the past that you were not really satisfied with. You're going to be getting some enhancements to your intuition, greater access to the Akashic records and your own personal soul plan. And I feel that this is going to come in the form of dreams or kind of like spontaneous aha moments throughout your day where something, a situation maybe you've been stewing on, or something that was left unsettled, unfinished business from the past that some clarity comes to you as far as how to create resolution from that, how to disassociate yourself from the energetic cords that are still binding you to the feelings associated with that, or to people from the past. So this is going to, again, facilitate a lot of healing for you, and healing even energetically from a distance for other people involved. So again, you're going to really be stepping into this period where it's going to be quite obvious too, that your manifestations, the things you're thinking about, the things that you are putting energy into, intention into, that those are showing up in your reality very quickly. And that can be both a positive and a negative thing, which is why, like with the Sword of Light, it's very important at this time to be very mindful of your thoughts, to, you know, if you find yourself slipping into kind of defeatist, kind of negative thought patterns, self-defeating thoughts, kind of a lack mentality, to stop yourself. And as soon as you really notice that, as soon as you pick up on that, you know, that you're going around in that circle, or you're kind of looping back into that thought pattern, and really redirect your thoughts actively and as quickly as possible to the things that you do want to see happen, the outcomes that you do want to experience in your life, and that can really help to shift the energy and ensure that you are, you know, manifesting positive experiences for yourself, healing experiences, empowering experiences, uplifting experiences. Because if you allow yourself at this time where your ability to manifest is really being heightened, your relationship with spirit is deepening, the divine is listening very intently to what it is that you're saying, even in your mind, kind of like the thoughts that you're putting out there. It's this kind of, you know, a closeness between, you know, you're always close with spirit, spirit's always with you, but they're paying a lot of attention right now. Spirit is really actively trying to work with you to create some new opportunities, some new doors, to really shift your circumstances or the experiences that you're having. I feel that you've completed and closed out some cycles already up to this point, and so now is the time to really, you know, co-create with spirit and plan what is next for yourself, based on what you've been through in the past. This is also going to be a time of really succeeding and taking back your power from situations, again, closing out some cycles, getting some healing for yourself, energetically providing healing for others involved or for situations. And in that place of empowerment, really determining, you know, what's the next leg of this journey? What's the next level of this journey for you? What are some new lessons and some new experiences and new blessings that you're now prepared, that you're at a place of spiritual strength to be able to, you know, shoulder any burdens that come along, or to, you know, navigate your way through experiences, both pleasant and difficult, with kind of a strength of spirit at this point in time. You've definitely leveled up, so you're kind of ready for a next level of lessons for yourself. So again, just be very mindful at this time of the thoughts that you're having, because you're going to be manifesting very quickly, and things are going to start showing up in your reality again very quickly, based on when you're thinking about these things, when you're, you know, putting your thoughts, putting your attention, putting your focus on these things, and that can be both positive and negative. So mindfulness is very important, but some great breakthroughs that are going to come through in terms of, also, this is a period of realizing your personal power, realizing your ability to create your reality, understanding that the reality that you are existing in now, the circumstances you find yourself in now, are in some way a result of intentions that you put out, things that you invested energy in, that you had directed attention to in the past. And with these kind of epiphanies that are coming through, then it's going to become more important because you are informed, but then it's also going to be easier to co-create with spirit a future that you want to see, better circumstances for yourself moving forward. And with that is, again, this period of really kind of once and for all being able to cut some cords with the past. I feel that, you know, in terms of, if you don't already have a meditative practice, you should probably maybe start something like that. Start just opening yourself to the guidance that wants to come in, or, doing some guided meditations, cord cutting practices, cord cutting meditations, prayers of that nature, both to Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael, who are working very closely with you at this point in time. Archangel Michael with his fiery sword of truth to kind of cut through all those cords of negative attachment. And then Archangel Raphael with that, that healing energy to come in, especially as related to the heart chakra. Because the color associated with Archangel Raphael is green, and that, relates to the heart chakra. So heartbreaks of the past, disappointments of the past, and this can be romance or family. But you are stepping into a period where you're going to be able to generate some healing for yourself, close out some cycles, and really actively co-create with spirit, with the universe, in terms of what you want to see next, what you want this next kind of step of your journey to be. Again, because of this awareness, this knowledge that you have of that ability to co-create, that you can take a more active role in your life, or at least know that you have an active role in creating your present and creating your future. So some great manifestation skills and abilities here that are coming online, and you're going to be getting some downloads as far as, just little clues or nudges or things that show up in your reality, as far as, maybe you're kind of drawn at this point to law of attraction and really practicing that methodology, visualizing, creating vision boards, journaling, all of these things that you're going to see results from that. You're going to really understand the way in which to, again, kind of help to fashion the next leg of your journey, and to really, you're going to start to understand energy, both the energy that you hold within yourself and how that relates to universal energies, and really being able to step into this place, this point in your life where, you're kind of almost becoming the director of the show, as opposed to just, an actor or an audience member in your own life. That there's going to be definitely a more active role that you are taking at this point in time, and that you're going to become aware of. So let's get some tarot now to get some clarity about this for you, group 1. What is this going to look like? Okay, so we have the Four of Wands. So this can definitely be in regards to some kind of romantic connection, creating some kind of stability for yourself, maybe closing out some painful chapters in terms of heartbreak from the past, and really actively manifesting a partner for yourself, somebody who you can build a stable foundation with, creating some stability for yourself as well. And again, with all these kind of books here on the table in this card, I feel that you're really going to be getting some access to the Akashic records, and your own kind of a peek into your own soul's plan for this lifetime, where you may have just been kind of loosely aware of these terms, or, kind of accessing them in a dream state, but not actually remembering it. You could be experiencing a lot of dreams of, like dealing with books, being in a library, being in a hall of records, reading information on a computer. All these different ways can be kind of your subconscious mind's version of letting you know that that's what's taking place at that point in time, that's the activity, that's the action, that's the energy that you're interacting with. Is that Akashic record? Is your own soul plan to, you might not necessarily remember everything it is that you're reading or that you're seeing. Some of you might, and that'll be important to then when you wake up, write that down, journal that, because it will become apparent, the use of that or the importance of that a little further down the road. But for others of you, it will just be, that you're aware that you are you're kind of accessing this information, that you've kind of spiritually earned this place of being able to, to know that you're actively participating in this, that again, you're not just being carried along by some universal current, but you are a participant in this as well. And so with that in mind, you can really set that intention, before you go to sleep at night, for example, to ask that you be shown some of, your own soul's plan, or ask that you, have some access, that you make that journey during the dream time to the Akashic records to get some clarity about some directions to take in your life, or clarity about some issues you're experiencing, some conflicts or concerns you're experiencing, and that in that period of receptivity through dreams, this can also be accomplished through meditation, that you can really get that that kind of strength within, and those messages within that, again, might not be literal. It could just be in the sense of a sensation, or something to do with, like, you're seeing this imagery of reading something, and that can be a clue to you that this information is energetically being uploaded to you in this very kind of like subconscious and receptive state. So we also have Three of Swords. So again, there's that confirmation of this has something to do with some heartbreaks of the past, disappointments of the past. This can be friends or family. Romance is coming up strongly, but again, with all these kind of sheets of paper, and there's that reference again to that, that Akashic records, really being able to access that greater wisdom, access to your own soul's plan to understand the significance of this, the greater lessons that are to be garnered from the experiences that you've gone through in terms of heartbreak. And kind of like that saying that you kind of have to crack the heart open in order to truly embody and experience unconditional love for yourself first, and then that radiates out to all others. And so this can be something also that, you're gaining this greater understanding that, again, disappointments or heartbreaks, romantic heartbreaks of the past, that all of this was kind of a mechanism to crack your heart open, crack that heart chakra open to, put you in this place of receptivity to healing, to strengthening your relationship with yourself, with your higher self, your relationship with the divine, to really be able to feel that in this pain, in the isolation, in the desolation, that you are strongly connected with spirit, and that you have the ability to change your circumstances. You have the ability to manifest something different for yourself. But the first step in that is recognizing patterns, recognizing belief systems that have somehow attracted or allowed experiences of a certain vibration or frequency, be they negative experiences or positive experiences, but something within you has kind of allowed these things into your vibrational field, into your awareness, and that even the most difficult experiences, the most heart-wrenching experiences, there is some wisdom to be gained in that, even if it is just, again, kind of putting that focus inward to that kind of quiet and vast space within, where you are whole and you are perfect and you are loved exactly as you are, that there is nothing that needs to be fixed about you, and the healing that is available in that space, and that is begging for your attention, is that for all of the exterior flaws or things that could be improved upon, that at the soul level there is this perfection that is completely worthy and deserving, and just a complete embodiment of love. So we also have the Knight of Swords. So there's that sword energy as far as a lot of cord cutting that's going to be going on, really kind of mastering some techniques in that, to sever these connections with heartbreaks of the past, people of the past, really this ability to free your energy up, to dislodge even kind of the ghosts of previous heartbreaks that are still kind of depleting your energy, or really affecting your self-worth, or your ability to manifest something better going forward. That you're stepping into this period of taking a very active role and learning some techniques, remembering some techniques as well through your eternal soul of the methods for identifying those energetic cords, cutting those energetic cords, kind of putting a balm on those energetic cords, and shielding yourself energetically from reattachment, either by those same previous people, the memories associated with that, or even new people that could be magnetized into your experience going forward, but that as you do this healing and you raise this vibration, and again it almost creates like a force field against that, to where you have this greater awareness. You're able to energetically and vibrationally kind of determine those synchronicities, that sameness in the energy, kind of like the potential of repeating patterns, and you're able to cut that then out of your life more swiftly, which again helps in terms of shifting timelines, in terms of co-creating with the universe, with spirit, in terms of what you want going forward, the type of partner that you want to manifest. So this is a very exciting time of stepping into that active role of co-creation of your future. So again, thoughts, keeping those thoughts positive, hopeful, focusing on the things you do want to experience, and kind of suffocating out any sort of thoughts that are trying to drag you back down into old thought patterns, defeatist thought patterns, feelings of not being good enough. That's going to be very important at this point in time, and you're going to be supported in that. And a lot of this is going to come through, again, by accessing your soul plan and these Akashic records. Some of this information you'll come upon, it'll be, just things that maybe pop up in your YouTube feed, or, a book that you see at a bookstore, kind of like in the window, something that, something about a spiritual practice, or even non-spiritually related, that you read it and something talked about in there, it clicks on some level, and you're able to, kind of create some resolution for yourself. But again, a lot of this will come through subconsciously as far as ways to kind of do this healing. These might be kind of unorthodox things that are just very, very personal to your own experience. Or these can be some modalities that through your experience with this, maybe keeping notes, keeping records, journaling this, so you can both track your progress of, this action and intention, and then the manifestations as they show up, excuse me. But again, with throwing up, that just came out, that kind of Freudian slip, really this period of kind of purging, getting rid of these kind of thought patterns from the past, these energetic kind of connections with, difficult experiences, painful experiences, maybe like the same type of person showing up in different people, the same type of romantic partner, just in different kind of guises, but it's the same kind of underlying lessons and experiences. You're going through this period of really getting that out of your energetic system, cutting those cords, dislodging those cords that are, keeping you kind of stuck in some cycles or patterns, even cycles of thinking. But as you go through all of this, these techniques that come up that you're using, you can even write some of that down. And for some of you, this can be a new modality of healing that you are, going forward, that you can share with others, that can be of great value to others, something that, you access through dealing with the Akashic records, through, your co-creation with spirit. Again, something unorthodox, something that is not currently utilized or talked about in great detail or by many people, as far as a method for kind of closing the door, kind of sealing up those doors, leaving the past behind and truly moving forward to, navigate your future, to creating a better future for yourself. So let's see, what are some things that you can do to really help to hasten this process for yourself, to really help facilitate this process of, downloading this information, accessing this information, seeing the bigger picture, really closing out some doors to the past and creating some new opportunities for yourself at this time, group one. All right, and we have take positive action. So that is a great summary of what came up in terms of really keeping those thoughts focused on what you do want to experience, the results you do want to see, hopefulness, hope for the future. And in this card as well, this lady's like in a bathtub, so that fits very well with that, kind of purging out these old energetic cords that bind you to the past, bind you to, a previous version of yourself, a previous vibration that you were operating at, people from the past, experiences from the past, that now is a time to energetically cleanse yourself, to, cut those cords, to free yourself, cleanse your energy. You're stepping into a period of time where this is going to become, it's going to be deeper for you. It's going to be easier for you to do. And you're going to be opening up and kind of accessing your own energetic field in a way that you might not have previously been able to experience it before. So this can even be in the sense of kind of a hypersensitivity to your own energy, to your own aura, maybe some places where there are some tears or some holes in the aura or in the psyche, and really being able to energetically, through meditation, through, again, various modalities that you come across, or some things that, are kind of downloaded to you, to really be able to get in there, to, cut those cords, dislodge those cords of attachment, and kind of apply that balm to yourself, do that self-healing work. A big activation here in terms of your capacity to self-heal, and in conjunction with that self-healing is, kind of restoring your own vitality, energetically speaking, which is then going to manifest from the inside out. So some kind of a glow up is on the horizon for you. And, this period of time you are going to be in, that you're stepping into, that's, this period of activation and manifestation that is on the precipice for you, or that you are just now starting to undergo. The shifts, again, are going to be very obvious, and they're going to be very dramatic, and I feel they're really going to emanate from the inside out. And this is really going to help to shift you. You're going to be shifting timelines. You're going to be able to identify when there's something that's not working for you, and you're going to be able to pinpoint what needs to be healed, what sort of wound is kind of keeping you at a vibration that, is not where you want to be, or is, really kind of depleting you, is really dragging you down, is really then kind of affecting other areas of your life. And you're going to have almost like this kind of like sight beyond sight into your own energetic field, into your own experiences, the memories that you have, that you've been kind of carrying forth to this point in time, to be able to cut those cords, seal up those holes, put that force field in place to prevent kind of reattachment, or kind of going back through those same cycles, either with the same people, or, different people that just have the same kind of experience or vibration to offer as these heartbreaks of the past. And by doing that, then, these results, this change, this glow up, is going to be, it's going to emanate out. And so you're going to see your 3D circumstances really changing, and that this is a period of time where you're going to understand your active role as a co-creator in really shaping the reality that you are experiencing. So I'm going to close this out for you, group one, with some guidance from Spirit about this. Okay, and we have Team Spirit. Work together as a team. Cooperation, enthusiasm, loyalty, and kindness will ensure a successful outcome. So that is a great message from Spirit. That ties that all in with this period of co-creation, and really coming to acutely understand your role in co-creating your reality. And there's also going to be an enhancement. I feel for a lot of you, this isn't necessarily an activation. This is an upgrade to your ability to manifest, and manifest quickly in your life, to really shift timelines. You're at this point where, there's doors that need to be closed, that need to be healed, that need to be kind of, sealed off in order to create that void that the universe will naturally want to fill, because the universe abhors a vacuum. So when you close out this kind of energetic investment in disappointments and heartbreaks of the past, you create that space of void, which the universe then will fill with something. And you're coming into this place in your life, this period of time where you're understanding that you can take a role in that. You're not just subject to whatever comes down the pipe, but it's something something where through your thoughts, through your intentions, your visualizations, you're able to kind of shape and shift that reality for yourself. So this is a time where Spirit just wants you to, again, if you don't have a meditative practice, this can be a really good time to start that. If you are active in prayer, definitely keep that up, or, maybe kind of focus or hone your prayers to what you specifically want to experience. If this is in regards to a partnership in terms of a romance, putting those intentions out, those vision boards, that visualization, journaling, making these intentions very clear and very known. And a lot of that is, again, going within, searching your own kind of soul plan, kind of experiencing those Akashic records to really get to understand, what makes for a good partnership. What is the kind of partner that you really need in this lifetime? Somebody that, can encourage you and challenge you to step into that highest vibration, to be that best self, and to continue to evolve and grow moving forward. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose this key. So I'm going to put that right up here. And we'll start with these oracle cards. Okay, so we have Rebirth, Wisdom of the Divine Feminine, Akashic Records, Clearing Old Stories, Releasing Past Lives, Freedom, Message in a Bottle, and listen to your intuitive feelings. Your body is receiving accurate messages from the divine. So most of you are going to be experiencing an upgrade to your intuition. I feel that you're already very intuitive people, but there's going to be kind of an increase and influx in the signs that you are getting, repeating messages, perhaps in the form of angel numbers, or if you are praying or really asking the divine for some guidance, for some assistance, for some direction in terms of maybe an opportunity that you're on the fence about taking, or a relationship, or just kind of what is next for you, or if you're on your life path, if you're on the correct path in your life, if you're really living up to your soul's plan, your highest good. That these signs that you're going to be getting, these messages, they're going to be very direct, very in your face, very hard to ignore. And for some of you, this might even border on a little bit overwhelming, the signs that come in, particularly if it's in the sense of repeating numbers or angel numbers. This could be, you could see this everywhere, like with the phenomenon of 1111, and it's kind of like every time you look at the clock, it seems that it's 1111, or, you're seeing that on license plates, on billboards, on receipts, on price tags, on, just anywhere and everywhere you could possibly imagine. So it's feeling that this is going to be an upgrade in that sense, that there's a lot of messages flooding in. There's something that the divine is trying to communicate with you. And so at this time, it's very important that you not question these signs that come in, that, if you're asking for answers, asking for guidance, and sometimes when we do that, we kind of have an expectation of a particular response. And if the signs that we're getting, or the answer that we're getting, if it's not what our expectation is, then we can doubt that. Or we can even if the answer is what we were expecting, there is also a degree of, self-doubt, or, a hesitancy to kind of trust. In our modern society, we've been very, we're kind of conditioned, especially in the Western world, to really rely upon logic and scientific proof and evidence. And so things that kind of reside outside of that, in the realm of spirit, in the realm of the intangible, things as far as intuition or signs are concerned, we've been conditioned to kind of doubt that or question that, because there's no mathematical explanation. It is not in alignment with, the current, let's say, laws of physics, or it doesn't really have a scientific explanation. It can kind of go into, the category of, new age, or kind of woo-woo thinking, or, things like that. And so as much as we might be open-minded to these things, there is still a component of ourselves, which often needs to, we actively then have to work to kind of break those conditionings, break those patterns, and really sort of lean into our intuition, trust that intuition, which across the scope of millennia, we as a human species have been really taught to distrust that, to discount that, particularly again in the Western world, and since the scientific revolution, the industrial revolution, where the shift in consciousness has been kind of redirected to more logical minded. If there's no, empiric proof of it, then it must be questionable, or, a figment of the imagination. The developments of the fields of psychology, of psychiatry, have again really kind of served to, and I mean, they do have benefits, of course, but they have also served in a way to kind of disempower our reliance on our intuition, or our instincts in that sense, our senses that, exist in this realm beyond kind of the five tangible senses, this kind of extrasensory perception. So at this point in time, again, these nudges, this instinct, this signs, this kind of outside of the scientific method communication with spirit is going to be increasing for a lot of you. So it's going to be a little bit challenging maybe to kind of navigate through that. There can be this instinct to question that, to kind of dismiss that as, well, maybe it's just in your imagination, or you're seeing something you want to see, you're seeing the answer you're wanting. But at this time, this is really an opportunity. It's a challenge for you to kind of, without any kind of hardcore logical scientific proof, to really put that trust in the intangible world. Put that trust in your extrasensory perception, in your intuition, in the wisdom of your body, which can feel vibrations. You can feel when things resonate. You can feel truth when it comes to you. The messages that come from spirit, the answers to your prayers or your questions, guidance on next steps to take, that can come in so many forms. It can come in even just overhearing a conversation between strangers as you're walking down the street, and something that one of them says, it just clicks, it just resonates for you. And that is a form of spirit communicating with you at that right time, at that right place. It's something that you need to hear, that is the answer you've been searching for. So again, intuition's going to be heightened, signs are really going to be heightened, and this is almost, it's again like an upgrade to this, like with this rebirth card here. I feel most of you are very intuitive. You already have some kind of relationship with spirit to a varying degree. You pray, you are open and receptive to signs and guidance that you're getting, but there's going to be some kind of up-leveling to that, an upgrade of that. And the purpose of that is to really, again, like with what I was saying, with this kind of push that has happened in, recent millennia to kind of squash the intuition, to distrust the intuition, and to purely focus on what is materially present. Overly focusing on the third dimension to the exclusion of higher dimensions and, the energetic exchange that occurs in kind of irregular or sort of outside of the box or intangible or unexplainable ways. That part of this process you're going to be going through is, healing that, clearing that paradigm of, not overly focusing on logic to the exclusion of intuition, but really seeking to create a balance between the two within yourself. Kind of becoming this grounding point between the 3D physical world and the things that you can actually see, hear, touch, taste, and smell, and being that bridge with the realm of perception, that which is beyond explanation, the unexplainable, the intangible, the spiritual. So part of that as well, a lot of this can also be coming in the form of dreams. You could be getting increased prophetic dreams, things that, you have a dream about, and then the situation comes to pass, it comes to play out. And some of that can be kind of overwhelming depending on the nature of that as well. You might be wondering, what's the purpose of this? Why am I getting this information if I don't know at the time how to use it? It might be kind of, might make you kind of nervous, or kind of, you're again not really sure what to do with that. But again, this is all a process. The purpose and the point of that is to clear this over-dependence on logic, this over-dependence on the scientific mind, and to start to create some balance, to start to shift that pendulum back in the direction of recognizing that, we all possess an intuition, recognizing that energy and existence, it transcends the third dimension, that there are many other dimensions. There is consciousness that exists beyond just tangible physical embodiment. And so part of this period, this process for you and what you are doing energetically at this point in time, which will then kind of shift the paradigm for others as well, just in terms of making this possible, or kind of setting that energetic example for others to sort of, listen to the intuition, to recognize that consciousness exists again beyond the third dimension, and that this is definitely a multiverse that we live in. This is definitely, time and space are just two dimensions of, a multifaceted reality, that there is, for as much as we can perceive with our, physical senses, there's a larger world of reality and existence that occupies a space that is beyond that. Different spectrums of light, time being a multifold, multifaceted principle or world unto itself that is not so much linear but cyclical. All of these things, the experience that you're having, this kind of this heightened intuition, this heightened communication with kind of the spiritual, the non-material realms. This is all opening, it serves the purpose of opening your perception to that, so that when you enter into this place of trust, you kind of move beyond that sort of culturally ingrained skepticism and back in the direction of being very trusting, being very cognizant of these things. And, as much as you can receive messages, understanding that you can also send messages, that this is a two-way communication street. And when you do that, again, it helps to shift the energetic paradigm for everybody, for the collective consciousness, for what's possible, for others in terms of widening our perception and our perspective of life and existence in general. So let's get some tarot to get some clarification about this for you, group 2. Okay, so we have the Ace of Swords, and this is definitely a card of communication. So again, these signs that are coming. And I'm getting with this card right here, how it's this sword kind of almost in this portal or this kind of like dimension out in this kind of space, in this kind of galaxy here, that this is really talking about, again, this information that you're kind of pulling down or you're receiving from the higher realms, from kind of the outer realms, the realms that are beyond our 3D kind of earthly existence. And that, that communication, again, it's a two-way street. So you can definitely, you're going to be experiencing a time where, that message in the bottle, your prayers that you're sending out, your inquiries, your request for signs, for guidance, that's going to be answered. It's going to be answered in ways that are unmistakable. There are going to be a lot of signs coming in, repetitive signs, things, again, that are coming in quickly, not having to wait, days or weeks and then something comes up, but maybe almost immediately or within hours, or, that night in a dream, something comes up, maybe a prophetic dream that then, even the next day or within a couple of days plays out, something that is just, it's demonstrating that, this is in real time, that you are having this connection, that you are, functioning as this bridge between the higher realms and, the realm of the material. And with this as well, I feel that a lot of you're also going to be opening up to receiving messages for others, things that like the collective might need to know, the collective consciousness. There could be, things that are pertinent to others in your reality. And so part of this journey, what's going to be opening up, you're at the stage right now of really having to, recognize this, to understand this very active relationship that you have with the intangible world, with the intangible realms, and that this can definitely lead to something further down the line of, being able to act as, that conduit for others, to relay these messages to others, maybe in some kind of platform, or maybe something that you write. Maybe you start to get downloads, or you function as some kind of a medium for kind of these higher level energies, higher level consciousnesses that are having messages or, philosophies, or just things that they need to have communicated at this point in time in human history, for the rest of mankind, of humankind, to kind of receive that sort of guidance, that message, that kind of spiritual nudge. So we also have the Three of Wands, and this is definitely something where a lot of this is, the Three of Wands is kind of this energy of waiting, or kind of this period of being on pause. And I feel that this is really talking about, this kind of waiting for these messages to come in, waiting for these signs to come in. And, in this card, this guy's like sitting in this library with all these books. So I'm feeling that this is really relating to, and again, all these little lights here. So all of these kind of, these entities or the different facets of consciousness from the higher realms, the higher dimensions that are relaying these messages to you, that you're waiting for these answers to come in, and they are coming in volumes. There's many of them, many signs that are coming in. And it's something which, downloads that are coming in. Like we have this chalkboard here, and he's got all these these figures and these, equations and sort of, pictures and sigils. So it's going to be all kinds of different things that are coming in for you in terms of signs, in terms of guidance, in terms of information. This can be information of a spiritual nature, that, again, you're really being prepped for something here, for, delivering some kind of larger messages to humanity, to others in your community, maybe just even acting as a guide to particular souls that you are already in contact with, people in your family, particular friends. In some way, this is part of either your soul contract with these individuals, that this information that passes through you, and even as it just affects your vibration and the way you're interacting with this person, the guidance you're giving this person or these people, that it somehow awakens something in them. It conveys a deeper energy, a deeper knowledge than just, your own personal opinion, that this is in some way acting as a channel from these energies up on high down here into the earthly realm. And we also have death. So this is that energy of rebirth. The death card, it does always contain that energy of endings and beginnings. So this gift, this intuition, these signs, this communication, this active and direct communication with the higher realms and with spirit, that is getting ready to really upgrade for you. I feel for a lot of you, you already sort of get it, so it's not really coming online for the first time, but this is definitely a massive upgrade, that it signals the end of, maybe one way of dealing with spirit, of understanding communication with the higher realms, understanding prayer, understanding answered prayers, understanding divine guidance or divine intervention. That your previous way of thinking, which might have been kind of linear, even in and of itself, or just kind of a smaller scope, that your scope, your perception is about to be widened. It's kind of like something in you awakens, and that once this is awakened, once this channel is opened, it cannot be closed again. So this is the birth of something new, some new capacity or facet within yourself to communicate and co-create and really understand both personal guidance for yourself and to be able to convey guidance and messages to others. So let me get a card now to see what can you do to really kind of help facilitate this energy, this change that's coming online, this kind of expansion of your intuitive abilities, or your mediumship abilities, your ability to kind of channel these oracular abilities within you. Okay, and we have stop breaking agreements. So with this, I'm really getting that, again, these signs that'll be coming in, that could be coming in, this information, this communication, it could be quite overwhelming in terms of the volume, in terms of the nature of it. Even prophetic dreams could be kind of unsettling for you, unnerving for you, because you're not really sure what the purpose, what the point is. Often with things like prophetic dreams, it only makes sense after that event or that situation plays out in our physical reality, and then we look back and we say, oh my gosh, I dreamed that. Why, I wish I had known that meant something. I could have, done something to affect that future outcome. And, it kind of just leaves one with a lot of questions. But again, kind of the point and the purpose of that is to really just make you aware of sort of time as not being linear, but more as a cyclical concept, but then also really opening you up to trust other messages and guidance that you're getting from spirit, to open you up to that reality that, there is this communication that's occurring, that it comes in a variety of ways, from large matters to small matters, and that, it's a matter of really, again, putting you in that place of trust and receptivity to understand that, there is a reality, there is a consciousness that is larger than our scientific and our logical mind and the 3D world. And through those experiences, through things like prophetic dreams and those playing out, that is that empiric proof of something more, something greater than what we are experiencing in the here and now. And so the purpose of a lot of that is really just to, again, open you up to that, crack you open to that reality. So if a lot of you are trying to kind of suppress these things or really deny this ability, which is understandable, especially if, signs and synchronicities and these messages are coming in large volume, and it can be very overwhelming and very confusing. There can be this instinct to kind of shut that off, to turn that off. Like on this card here, and she's got this blindfold to just kind of like shut your eyes to it, ignore that, just push it away. But you're being really advised here to, lean into this. As much as this might be uncomfortable, really practice grounding exercises, meditation, focus a lot on self-care, on just rest, taking it easy, taking time to process these things, writing these things down, journaling, and really moving into this space of knowing that, you won't have all the answers at first. It won't all make sense at first. A lot of this will come and it will, pass, and it will just not, you won't really understand the significance of it. It's almost like an antenna picking up radio signals, and there's a lot of different channels. There's a lot of different, information. There's a lot of different static feedback, all kinds of things that come in. And with that, then there are certain nuggets that stick out that are relevant in the midst of all of this kind of influx of energy. So you're really being advised to not resist this, as this kind of gift, as this ability sort of heightens, as it deepens. Do what you need to do to, again, kind of put your kind of emotional health at the forefront, your mental well-being, your sense of peace, your stability, being present, taking care of your responsibilities, taking care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, do what you need to do. Again, grounding exercises, grounding meditations, baths can be really helpful to, just keep your energy clear, making sure that you're getting enough rest, eating very healthy, very kind of clean foods, drinking a lot of water, really making sure that, the media, the social media that you're taking in, filtering that and making sure that you're not taking in things that are, adding to your anxiety or filling you with a sense of dread or negativity or, just very kind of low vibrational things. But actively trying to keep your vibration as high as possible will keep you functioning as a more effective and more efficient antenna, basically, for this information that is wanting to come through you. And as you lean into that, when you resist these kind of things, it doesn't stop the process. It makes it a lot more uncomfortable. And so leaning into that, being open to that, really trusting your intuition as well, not, overly questioning yourself, or if you find yourself questioning yourself or trying to rationalize things away, really actively moving into that space of just trust. Trust in something that's beyond what you can see, that's origin is beyond what you can know, that's purpose is, to be revealed in time. And that can be, that can be a little tricky to actively kind of move into that space, but then it becomes very natural. It becomes something which is just second nature, and you operate from that space of trust and from existing both in the 3D material world and also understanding that, a part of you exists in these higher realms. And it is that part of you that exists in this multifold reality that is facilitating, that is, functioning as this antenna for you here in the third dimension in your physical incarnation, that is the grounding of that, kind of energetic vortex, or that, that stream of energy. So remaining open to that, remaining open to the guidance and the signs, and, you know, just really trusting in what's coming through, and trying not to be very like overly logical about things, or too much in your mind about that, or trying to make sense of what these things mean, but just being very receptive, just, you know, seeing what comes through, and, you know, just really taking that can be, taking that in, being open to that, just letting it flow through you can really help in this process to, you know, help this ascension and this upgrade to operate more smoothly, and for you to really then come to a space where you are comfortable with this gift of yours, which does ultimately serve a larger purpose than just arbitrarily getting information. And then that purpose will be revealed to you at a later point in time. So I'm going to close this reading for you, group 2, with some guidance from Spirit about this. Okay, so we have retreat. Seek and receive consolation from God to overcome a difficult experience. This is a time for reflection, solitude, and contemplation. So yeah, that was that energy that that I was just picking up on, and, you know, that recommendation that I was just saying about, you know, really taking time to rest, to ground, to really, you know, center, focus within. Really, self-care is important through this process. This is a pretty major energetic upgrade. It's an awareness of yourself, you know, as more than just a 3D physical vessel, that you are really opening up to a stronger relationship with your higher self, with the components of your soul as they exist in higher dimensions of reality, all the way up to unification with source consciousness. So, you know, that can be very kind of overwhelming, both kind of psychologically and emotionally and spiritually, but it can also be very overwhelming to the physical body as this kind of a transformation or transitions taking place, as you're receiving, you know, these kind of messages, this energy, this influx. It can definitely, you know, affect the chakra system. It can, you know, make you feel very tired, very drained, very irritable. So Spirit just wants you to really focus on, you know, rest and recuperation, and really nurturing yourself, nurturing your physical body as much as possible. And by doing that, that can really help to, again, kind of ease this transition, ease this sort of evolution, this kind of growth, this kind of coming out of this cocoon, this sort of like growing out of the old skin of your perceptions into sort of this new period. But with that, you'll be in kind of, you know, this pink newness. It'll feel kind of vulnerable, you know, you'll feel very exposed, or, you know, just kind of overloaded, overwhelmed, as you kind of acclimate to that new state of receptivity, that new state of being, that new awareness of, you know, your soul and how it exists and its relation to a variety of energies and facets of consciousness throughout many dimensions. So, you know, just again, rest, focus on that self-care, eating well, drinking a lot of water, nurturing yourself. And, you know, in time, it'll get more comfortable. It will not always be as uncomfortable as it feels when this starts to come online, when the shift starts to happen. You might be experiencing a lot of ascension symptoms. So again, just if you feel tired, you know, take naps, rest. If you know, feel like you are craving a particular food, you know, eat that. There's a reason that your body is really wanting that. You know, make sure to spend time around people that make you feel good. Maybe even just quiet time at home, kind of going in this hermit mode as this transition's taking place. That can be really good too if you're feeling very overwhelmed, being around a lot of people. You know, just take some time for yourself, for some self-care, and that can really help in this very beautiful and wonderful kind of expansion that is taking place. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose this key. Put that right up here. And we'll start with these oracle cards. So we have meditation, second ray of wisdom, halls of learning, spirit guides, confirmation, great lessons, new life, and law of attraction. Relationships and activities that you once enjoyed are now changing as you become more sensitive and aware of energies. So I'm feeling for you guys in group 3 that you are going to be experiencing the presence of angels and etheric beings more in your life. And this can be in the sense of feeling angelic energies. And by angelic energies, of course, there are, angels like archangels that we are familiar with, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, many others. But there's also a vibration of energy that would be termed, an angelic frequency. And that's very high vibrational. It can be almost, if you were describing it in terms of a sound, it would be almost high pitch, almost beyond the human ear's ability to perceive it. It's light energy, almost to the point of, sort of like the light of the sun, where you know, if you look directly at it, you can't look at it for very long. It's at the very high end of the light spectrum, to where the human eye, for example, biologically is not able to take that in fully and process that directly, but only indirectly, as it's kind of, you know, like with the sun as an example, the light and the rays come out and it creates daylight, or, you know, it's something which kind of creates a distinction in the sense of shadow, where there's the absence of light, and then you have, you know, kind of that contrast. Whereas, you know, with kind of the darker end of the spectrum, it's more of a blanket, of like a cloak that covers everything. It's a uniformity. With light, there is, by its very nature, it creates the construct of distinctions of, you know, light and shadow, that the two of those go hand in hand. So with that being said, again, I feel that you're really going to sense angelic energies, things beyond your perception. So this could be something in the sense of downloads that are coming in. So you might be hearing like a ringing in the ear, a high-pitched frequency in your ear at intermittent times throughout the day, maybe for several days. And of course, if you feel this is something medical, do go to a professional and get that checked out. But I feel this will be happening just kind of sporadically. And so with that, it's there's some increased downloads that you're going to be getting that are going to serve to really upgrade your vibration in general, and your ability to really perceive and read energies around you, energies of situations, of other people, of circumstances, you know, just to really be able to kind of like feel into things, the energy of time periods, the energy of, again, particular circumstances. And that by this happening, it's, again, you're tapped into that sort of beyond the perception energy, which would be kind of like the angelic range of energies. So also with really sensing, you know, the presence of angels, sensing that angelic energy around you. You could be seeing a lot of angel numbers, for example. You could be seeing a lot of feathers in your path. You could be seeing a lot of birds. Those can also be symbols of that. There could be particular symbols, you know, you could be seeing the word angels, or, you know, seeing reference to specific angels again and again and again. So, you know, if you are seeing things that are kind of like repeating, maybe do some Googling about that to see, you know, what does that angel number correlate with? Because there's probably a message in that for you. Or, you know, a particular color that you feel really drawn to. All the, you know, archangels, for example, are associated with, you know, different colors. Like Archangel Raphael is green. We have, you know, Archangel Michael is like indigo, dark blue, sometimes purple, sometimes gold, just depending. So there's all different, you know, color spectrums that then pertain to these kind of these gradients of angelic energy. So that can be something that, you know, it's showing up significantly for you as well. So this is something where, in conjunction with that, the spiritual gift that kind of goes along with that is that you're going to be providing, and this will be different for everybody, but like a particular angel or an angelic frequency that's going to bring some sort of gift online. So maybe this is like, okay, Archangel Michael's coming up, for example, you know, and with his sword of truth that really cuts through cords of, you know, attachment, and, you know, it's kind of like this warrior energy, and it's an energy of truth. So if you are seeing a lot of signs of Archangel Michael, or you're experiencing him maybe in dreams, or, you know, again, colors that you're drawn to, that you're seeing, you know, different angel numbers, then this can be something that's activating in you, maybe in terms of your oratory skills, your ability to communicate ideas, or to be able to speak truths to others that can be very healing, or even triggering to others that kind of then forces them onto that interior journey of self-healing to, you know, identify roots of issues and, you know, why these things are coming up for them, as a means of then, you know, kind of propelling them on their own kind of self-healing and ascension journey. Archangel Raphael, for example, if you're getting a lot of that energetic frequency, you're seeing a lot of that, you're interacting with him a lot, then that can signal that, you know, some healing gifts are coming online for you in terms of energetic healing, being able to kind of perceive maladies within the soul or the aura of others, kind of being able to maybe visualize some energetic blockages within people, and to really then increase your ability to heal those through Reiki, through, you know, if you are a massage therapist, then in some way you could be, you know, really getting in tune with the angelic frequencies to increase your healing abilities. That can also be in the form of oration, the words you're speaking, things you're writing, the way you're communicating, that brings a lot of healing to others, the things you're saying, even not deliberately to people, but others that maybe just pass you by on the street, and, you know, what you're talking about, the nature of your conversation, it sparks something within a stranger that is very healing for them. It's an answer for them. Something that in some way you're kind of co-creating with the angelic realm here on earth to really bring those frequencies down and kind of spread those out. I'm also feeling that for a lot of you, you are going to be connecting with the realm of the fairies and the elementals a lot more. So you might be feeling drawn to spend some time in nature. The energy of the fairies and of the elementals, it is very much nature oriented, and in terms of, you know, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. So you could be really connected to, you know, these kind of energies within yourself. You might want to explore your natal chart and see, you know, what is the kind of the ratio of elements. Do you have, you know, is your chart pretty balanced? Do you have, you know, a little bit of everything, earth, air, fire, and water? Or maybe you have, you know, kind of an overabundance of, let's say, water and fire in your chart. And so that can signal a need to really take the time to, for example, incorporate some more earth into your life, some more grounding, being very, you know, grounding exercises, spending time in nature, being mindful of the foods that you put into your body. You know, do you need to bring more air in? Do you need to, you know, read more? Do you need to contemplate more? Do you need to, you know, work on your communication skills with others? If you find that maybe you have an imbalance of water, do you, you know, what are some emotions that you've been suppressing? Do you need to maybe work on some healthy ways of emotional expression through art, through talking to a friend or, you know, a counselor? Or even just taking some time to really process and purge things that you're holding inside. Maybe you're not, you need to work on the ways in which you are emotionally connecting and relating to others. You know, if you have kind of an imbalance of fire, what are the ways in which you are kind of stifling your truth, that you're not necessarily, you know, following your passion or living your authenticity, living that truth, but maybe watering yourself down for others. Like, these can all be examples, but I feel that with both of these energies, both the energies of the fairies and the energies of the angels that are really going to be known for you, they're going to, you're going to be kind of working in conjunction with that to, again, just sort of bring about some kind of functioning almost as like a beacon or kind of an antenna, which this sort of came up for group 2 as well. So if you felt really, but in a different way, sort of, if you felt inclined to watch that group, you might want to watch that, because there could be some additional messages for you. But at this point in time, it really feels like it's gonna be very specific to each person watching this, kind of this one particular area, this particular, either like an elemental energy that is going to really be called to the forefront, that this is an opportunity for you to focus on that, to really create that balance, strengthen that in your life. For a lot of you, that's going to be fire, that's going to be passion, that's going to be, you know, speaking your truth, standing in that authenticity, again, in conjunction with these angelic frequencies that you're going to be working more with. You're going to be embodying that, you're going to be stepping into that, which can serve two purposes. or it's actually like one purpose, but you can provide a lot of healing for people, but it can also be very triggering for others in terms of really motivating them onto their self-healing journey. That you're going to be stepping into this period where, energetically speaking, you're a teacher for others, either a teacher of some self-healing, some self-mastery, self-awareness practices and techniques, milestones that you've come to, and you're either speaking about this to others, or just how you are carrying yourself, your energy itself, maybe to people that have known you for a while and have witnessed the change, or even those who have just met you. They're sensing this energy, and it is educational for them. It's a guide for them. It's a beacon for them of something to, tap into, of something to, be receptive to cultivate. But then this is also in the form of, this can be very triggering to other people, triggering to other people's wounds. And that the purpose of that triggering is, again, to stimulate that person to really look within, triggering them to kind of self-reflect and to figure out what is it that is, crying out for attention in the form of triggering. So you can also, I feel too, for a lot of you, you're going to have a greater access to the Akashic records. You could be having dreams of being in a library, being in a bookstore, writing something, maybe having scrolls of paper with you, reading things on a computer, looking things up on a computer, even text messaging, just anything that our brain kind of in this modern world would associate with the communication of knowledge or ideas. These can all be metaphors or symbols for the Akashic records. And it will be something, it'll be different. It'll be unique for everybody, for each individual, for your, level of awareness, for your worldview, and just for the way that your subconscious, is translating that information, that frequency, that experience. So you can definitely at this time set some intentions to really, ask your spirit guides, ask your angels to really guide you through, to help you move through those Akashic records, that hall of wisdom, to really find some answers, seek some answers. And I'm feeling that it is beyond kind of, just mundane things like, should I buy a new car, or, should I take a new job? But take a new job could fit into what I'm about to say next. But I feel for a lot of you, this is really going to be in a larger sense of, am I living my truth? Am I living my soul purpose? Am I in alignment with my highest good? And so, like in the sense of the job, that might be something where, what you've been doing for a living, that you're really feeling this motivation or this call or this drive to question that. And so you're going to be gaining some access to some kind of higher information, some higher knowledge in terms of, where humanity's at, your role within humanity, how you can best serve the collective conscious, the greater good, how you can, step into your own highest good, which by vibrating at that frequency of fulfillment and, really fulfilling that purpose, stepping into that truth, living in your authenticity, that helps raise the collective vibration as well. So your spirit guides, you could be shown some new spirit guides, you could be meeting some new spirit guides in the form of dreams, animals that could be coming in that you're seeing a lot. It's a new leg of your journey right now is what I'm feeling for you, group 3, that there's an evolution taking place. And that was kind of the theme with all 3 of these groups. It wasn't so much something that's coming online for the first time. This is kind of like an elevation. So if you've worked with angelic energies, or you've, had a specific spirit guide, a spirit animal, maybe you are aware of fairies, but you haven't necessarily, worked with them before, really, sensed their presence, been very cognizant of, the spirits of nature in a deep sense, that this is going to be a deepening of that relationship. It's going to be some new faces, some new characters coming in, some new presences being made known to you. Again, new spirit guides, different angels you might not have worked with, or even a deepening of your relationship with kind of the natural world around you, some specific elements you feel drawn to work with. and that all of this is really, it's for, putting you in alignment with your higher good, your higher purpose, that you're at a place in your life right now and in your soul's development where this is very necessary, that there's something that, you need to accomplish to almost act as a way shower to others of a different way of being, either directly through maybe channeling information from angels, or speaking about spiritual topics, or something to do with meditation, with ascension, with self-healing, or in some way you're being guided to just kind of shift your priorities, raise your vibration, really kind of get in alignment with why you incarnated in this lifetime, really discovering that, finding out the whys, why you've been through everything you've been through, understanding the preparation that has been taking place behind the scenes up to this point in time, for some kind of greater contribution that this lifetime is intended for you. So I'm going to get some tarot to get some clarification about this for you. Group 3. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups. So this is really confirming that partnership, partnering with, some new spirit guides, some new angels at this point in time that you'll become aware of through signs, synchronicities, angel numbers, feathers, animals that show up a lot, colors, just a variety of things. And it'll be a different, kind of entity or presence for each of you watching this, something very specific to who you are as an individual and what your purpose is in this lifetime. But also in this card here, we're, they're in a library. So there again is that reference to, accessing these Akashic records, that you're being granted this access, and this entity, or, this presence, even this angelic presence, is kind of that guide, kind of that companion as you are navigating your way through here, to really help you to access some of this information, access this part of your soul's plan, and to really kind of take in that information with you. And then, this presence sort of translates that into a frequency that is then downloaded to you, which you might experience through ringing in the ears, through dreams, through feeling this, influx, this kind of rush of very high vibrational energy. This can come in the form of inspirations, or, a sudden sense of joy that you feel. That all of this will it will come in. You'll be feeling this in your physical body, and at kind of an etheric and then, spiritually cellular level, that all of this will kind of transfer in, and as that's taking place, then your vibration is raising in tandem with that. And we also have the Six of Cups, which this is talking about, to me, based on this is again kind of this we have this adult and this child here. So this is kind of like that angelic presence, that sort of like greater vibration, that much older consciousness, that kind of that higher level being that is really helping, that is being that way shower, that's kind of transferring that energy down to you. At this stage, you're entering into this place where you're about to do some maturing. You're taking in some information, some downloads. Again, understanding that relationship. There's a new relationship that is establishing, a relationship of trust that is establishing. And also in this card too, and not all of these cards in this deck have this, but there's just tons of books here. So again, there's that reference to the Akashic records. So that's definitely something that can even be coming online for you for the first time if you've never really thought about the Akashic records. It could be something you might want to research. There are some meditations that you can do. I believe there's some free ones on YouTube that can really help you, guided meditations to kind of put out that intention and to sort of explore these things superficially on that level with the conscious intention. But a lot of this will be taking place in the dream state. It'll be taking place during just other meditations where you're being shown the way. You're being kind of given this cup of wisdom, this cup of knowledge. You're being filled by this energy. You're opening up a new chapter in your story And, you're being introduced and put into contact with some of the guides and some of the energies that are going to be working with you at this point in time. And then that also function is then later down the road, then, you're serving this function for others energetically, where you've done this maturing, and you're kind of at this place of, being that way shower energetically for others, in terms of stepping into their authenticity, or, deepening their relationship with spirit. And we also have the devil. So in this context, I'm really seeing this card as, kind of, you're in this place of really raising your vibration. You're going to be shifting your focus away from just kind of material and the mundane. And there's going to be, I feel for a lot of you, you're almost going to want to, because some of these energies that come in, some of these angelic energies, as that comes in, that high frequency, that can kind of, it can be kind of troublesome on the physical body. It can be, you can feel very tired, you can feel very drained, particularly if it's like ringing in the ears. That can be kind of annoying. And so it might make you want to sort of retreat from the world for a period of time. But this is also speaking to me with this devil card, which is, in conjunction with sort of the material world, and, that energy of the elements with nature, that there's a deepening of your relationship with that, of your sensitivity to that, of your perception to that, your perception of the consciousness within the element of earth, your perception of the consciousness within the elements of water, of air, and of fire. Your perception of the consciousness of spirit, which is all around and within all of these things, where you may have previously just kind of viewed them as, just taken them for granted, or, thought of, well, it's the air that we breathe, it's the ground we walk on, it's the, it's the streams and lakes, it's the sun which warms us, but there's something that's going to be, your eyes are going to be opening to a deeper reality, that there is a consciousness within all of these things that can be, it definitely merits acknowledgement and respect, and it's also something that we can work with, both within ourselves and in the physical world around us, with different things that are occurring. Like, for example, if we have things that we want to cleanse, then we can take, like a sea salt bath, for example. Be very mindful when you're in the shower of not just washing off the physical, dirt and kind of griminess, but also energetically cleansing. And that by doing that, you are working with the element of water in that point in time to really harness those properties of sort of cleanse and release, and kind of moving stagnation aside to kind of dig deeper than just the corporeal self, going into more of the energetic and etheric self. So for group 3, that's really, you're going to become aware of these things. You're going to find out some new techniques, probably also through, your interaction in the Akashic records. Some things will be, brought to your attention as far as new ways of looking at things, new ways to work with the elements, to work with the angels, and, again, kind of deepening your presence and your connection with the different consciousnesses that make up our reality, that are more than just, kind of the typical things, something you'd find in an encyclopedia, for example, but, kind of more of these intangible sort of consciousnesses and beings that are around us and that share this time and space with us. So I'm going to get a card now to see what are some things that you can do to really facilitate this kind of increase, this expansion, or this, blossoming awareness within you. Okay, and we have access clear thinking. So with this card, I'm really getting that you're being advised to really open your mind to maybe the presence, or, if you work with angelic energies, open your mind to a greater scope of these beings, of these entities, than perhaps you have had previously. If it's in regards to, fairies or elementals, open your mind to the natural world around you, being sentient. Even rocks and crystals having a sentience, having a consciousness, having a, a lifespan, a life force that is different than, what we typically consider life or something that is alive. And by opening your mind to these things and just moving into this place of receptivity, that you can help facilitate these energies to really come in as they need to, as they want to, as you have planned in your soul's journey, to facilitate a greater kind of development of your vibration, of the way in which you interact with the world around you. With that law of attraction card also that came out, I feel that you're going to really be co-creating, manifesting, like with this devil card, a new reality, a new 3D reality for yourself by working with these angels or these fairies or these elementals. And so by opening your mind to that, opening your perceptions to that, not trying to be too logically based in what it is that, that you are thinking of as help or as guidance, but being open to not even being able to categorize, but just thinking of things in terms of frequency and vibration. And that, again, things that might be of a very high vibration that will be very hard to perceive. It'll be very almost or completely imperceptible, but understanding to really feel into that presence, feel into that being there, and understanding that co-creation is happening, and just really opening your mind to the journey that you are being led down, because you're coming into this point of really being activated for something greater, really being kind of leveled up in a sense. And it'll be different for all of you, just depending on, again, I'm feeling very specific archangels that are going to be coming in and making themselves known, maybe as a new spirit guide, or it's just going to be a deepening of that relationship with that particular archangel, if that's somebody that you work with. And that there's a reason that they are really stepping up their presence at this point in time, that they're making themselves especially known at this point in time. Because this is somebody that you are intended to work with at this point in time heavily. It's a new relationship that is establishing, or a deepening of a relationship that is establishing, that will, it's a journey that you're about to set out on, in conjunction, like there's a labyrinth here. I don't know if you can see that's carved there. And, then this maze here, and this woman is just kind of like, she's contemplating, sort of following that. Presumably, this ball of thread right here, it kind of leads off into this maze. So this is really kind of talking about moving into the space of trusting these signs that you're getting, trusting, the guidance from these kind of higher level beings, that, they're walking with you. You're being supported through this process, through this path that you are about to walk down, this unfolding that is taking place, and that there's something greater on the other side of that, which, it's different for all of you. So there's really not much coming out in that sense, other than in some way, shape, or form, you'll be a way shower for others of moving into that space of trust and co-creating at a future point in time. So I'm going to close this reading for you, group 3, with some guidance from Spirit about this. Okay, and we have Archangel Gabriel. Gabriel guides your creativity. So that's a great confirmation there of this angelic energy. So Archangel Gabriel could be significant for a lot of you. This can be an archangel that you are working with. And I believe Archangel Gabriel's color is purple. I could be wrong about that, but that could be a significant color for you. The color purple also, it relates to the crown chakra. So that can really talk about an opening of the crown chakra that's taking place. It's also kind of a third eye color as well. So you could be undergoing kind of a deepening of the decalcification of your pineal gland, kind of a deepening of the opening of your third eye. Maybe for some of you, it's for the first time, your third eye is really opening. Your awareness of energies, angelic energies in nature. You're becoming aware of that. So that could be something coming online for the first time, or your crown chakra really opening, having an upgrade. having some kind of healing occurring to the third eye and the crown, that is really enhancing your ability to communicate with spirit, to really connect with the divine, to receive messages, to kind of give messages, ask for guidance, receive that guidance. Music could be a way that, you might be drawn to listening to certain, even solfeggios can be something that can be really helpful at this point in time for, accessing that angelic energy, connecting with that, getting those downloads, getting those upgrades. That can be a way in which, angels are communicating with you as well through songs, or again, kind of frequencies within sort of like the musical spectrum. So different hertz might not be something that's even really perceptible to you. So this could be something you turn on and you listen to while you sleep. But that in some way, this is, a lot of you are then setting off on a creative journey, co-creating with the angels, maybe even Archangel Gabriel specifically, to, put some kind of art out in the world, or some kind of maybe more of a descriptive way of talking about spirituality, something that, people can perceive a message without necessarily having to hear words, but something visual, or, something through music. So all of this could be unfolding for you. It'll be different for everybody. But, just to really, I feel the guidance of spirit here is to really just, trust that this information, these downloads, these sensations you're getting, that you're perceiving, this is very benign and helpful in nature. It's something that, it can be kind of weird or overwhelming, or, just it can feel very intense, but it's something that you don't need to fear. That, just open your mind to that, trust in stepping out into the unknown, trust that you're being guided, that, your spirit team, the spirit guides you may have been working with up to this point, they're not gone. It's almost like your spirit team is expanding. You're taking on some kind of new allies, or new allies are really making themselves known to you that might not have been such a central focus before. But that all of this is signaling a shift, the beginning of some kind of new journey for you, you're embarking on a new stage of your life. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.